Going live in 3, 2, 1, I'm live. Hello, and welcome to Khosi Nation Fan TV. I am Pilo, I am your host, and this is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs. Khosi Football Club. We're talking about Percy Tau, we're talking about Iqraam Rayners, because these are the two players who are now being linked with Kaizer Chiefs. We'll attend to Iqraam Rayners a bit later in the video, but I want us to start by Percy Tau because his issue comes with terms and conditions. Because if you didn't know, Percy Tau's contract with Al Ahly currently ends on the 30th of June this year, which means he will be free to sign with any club for free. And if you look at it, with Al Ahly, he has won some things and he has been able to also be a very important figure in that club. And also, the reason why he might actually be staying as well, even after his contract ends, they might renew it because of the fact that next year, this very same team, Al Ahly, are playing in the Club World Cup. The first extended because Tau has already played in a Club World Cup, but now this one will be a big one. But that also depends on whether the club renews his contract or not. But here's what we're talking about right here. Tau is open, according to reports, according to Sowetan. He is open to coming to Kaizer Chiefs if Kaizer Chiefs hire Pietermaritzburg as the head coach. We know Tau has a history with Pietermaritzburg, and if Pietermaritzburg does get signed by Kaizer Chiefs, I just want to check my sound. If Pietermaritzburg does come to Kaizer Chiefs, then that means there is also that continuation of that relationship, because we know that while Lupito was at Al Ahly, he's the one who also signed Percy Tau to that club. So it wouldn't be something that is far-fetched or unexpected if one of the signings of Pietermaritzburg, if he came to Kaizer Chiefs, was Percy Tau. So I've already put a poll that is asking you guys, do you think it would make sense for Kaizer Chiefs to actually get a player like Percy Tau to come to Kaizer Chiefs? Because right now, as I said, his pros are the fact that he's currently it would be free, and also the other thing is the fact that okay, thank you, Messi Mike. Uguti, he would be available and he's a winner and all of these things, but does it make sense? I want you guys to comment, and I will also be reading your comments. So now let's think about this for a second before I read my comments in. Percy Tau is a leader, or could be a leader if he comes to Chiefs, but then there's another argument that will say, but at the same time, he's also a former Sundowns player. Do we really want to continue going down that route of getting ex-Sundowns players to come to Kaizer Chiefs? Someone will say, but Percy Tau has also won things, which means he will kind of bring that thing to Kaizer Chiefs. And then there's another thought that will say, wait a minute, if we do get rid of Futoli, that means that salary is now going to go to Percy Tau, and he's over 30. Can he really offer us what he was offering 2-3 years ago? And then, you know, there's just going to be this back and forth, and I'm interested to see my comments, because even right now on the poll, 50 people have voted and 76% are saying he is a good option, as people are saying. So I'm going to read some of your comments, and as more people join, they could also let me know, do you think it makes sense for Kaizer Chiefs to go for Percy Tau? And will this then be a thing? Because here's the thing that I'm now thinking about. Uguti, there are certain players that are, well, either in the Premier League or whatever league, that have gone to certain teams because of certain coaches. Now, Tau is, if Al Ahly doesn't renew his contract, he's in a situation where he has to choose his next destination. And that's not just him. There are other players as well who might be in a situation whereby they're thinking, wait, Chiefs wants me, but do I want to go and become average? Because other players are coming to Chiefs and they end up looking average. But if there is a good coach like Pietermaritzburg, then he will come. But it's not just him who will say that. There are other players who are looking at the situation at Chiefs as well and thinking to themselves, you know what? I can only go to that club if they sort their ish together, right? They're thinking that Chiefs needs to sort themselves out, need to get a proper coach, and then we can go there. So this also brings in that argument, Uguti. Should Kaizer Chiefs then hire Pietermaritzburg just because they want to attract players? Because I can tell you right now, whoever will hire Jurgen Klopp after he takes this break this upcoming season, every player will want to go to the team. Why? Because they will know that Jurgen Klopp is a very good coach who can develop them. Which means, if they know that fact, they are going to the club because of the coach. And if the Chiefs can get a coach who might be costly, right, expensive, but it will also make it easy for them to recruit more players, if you get my train of thought. So it's that thing, Yoguti, can signing Pietermaritzburg now open more possibilities? Because it's something that I had never thought of in that way. By the way, please do make sure to like the video as I am about to read your comments. Utsepo is saying, if Tau and Makhalwa comes, then I smell something, but we still need a playmaker. Konje, there's Makhalwa. Yes, I even forgot about Makhalwa because those news were confirmed like back in January. Chiefs denied it. And that's another signing, by the way, who would come to Chiefs if Pietermaritzburg came to Kaizer Chiefs. Next comment is from Usnako saying, Olampilo, yes, because he's a creative player, goal scorer, very versatile on attacking position, but no, because kuzoba nenkunzi imbili esibayeni esodwa, Percy Tau will also demand a high salary. That is what I'm saying. If Utau was to sign for Kaizer Chiefs, do you think he will be replacing Utoli, or do you think he would actually be what's the word? He will just be joining Utoli, because I don't think that you can afford Utau, who's also going to ask for 1 million plus, and then Utoli is getting 1.4 million as well. So that means now the salary is not going to look good. And let me ask this question, in fact, because let me see. Start a Q&A. I will ask this question. Renew Toli. I'm asking this question as well. Renew Toli. Value Tau as well. I think 29% are saying Tau he's a good option. I'm going to end this poll and I'm going to start another poll. And this one is going to ask you a simple question. Renew Toli or sign Tau, right? So I'm going to give you those two options. Renew Toli, sign Tau, or this is interesting, I'm adding a third option, sign Tau and renew Toli. Yes. I'm asking you this question now. I want to see what people are going to say. I want to see what you guys think right now. I'm asking now, Uguti, since Usnako is bringing up this interesting point, the question would be, are you saying let's sign Tau, or are you saying let's renew Toli's contract? I want to see what you guys think. This is interesting. I want to see what you guys think. Usnako continues to say, the guy is currently earning 1.8 million at Alali. There is 21 to 22 million wasted in 1 year. Then we're supposed to be investing in young players that we have. Remember Blom's demands. Exactly. Since Umfundo Vilakazi is coming up, will he not feel hard done Uguti? Let's say Utoli is injured again, or Tau is injured because Wayena he's had his injury problems. So I wonder. And then Messi is saying, okay, Lulu played is saying, clock up. We didn't get anything from kick and karma. I accepted, selected yes in a poll when I meant to click no. I'm sorry, shame. Austin Dogut is saying we don't need Percy Tau. Yaguza Uluvo is saying no, we need new blood. I hear you loud and clear. Loud and clear. Tabang is saying Tau is just another Toli or billiard, highly paid, but will spend most of his time on the hospital bed. Not good for the dressing room. I agree with you, actually. You know, I actually agree with you, Guti. Over 30, and given Uguti, if Chiefs does sign Utau, what will end up happening is that, or I'm assuming here, is that they might still want him to be, what's the word, that individual brilliance type of player, which we have established that we don't like having, because then we depend on one player, and then if that player is not clicking, then the whole team is not playing. So I do understand where you're coming from. And then Zakaria is saying it depends on who is the coach. If Pitso is the coach, then Tau will be a good boy. Or will be a good buy. And then Enzo Gutle is saying, I think Percy will be the right signing for Kaizer Chiefs. Umo Tiki Patrick is saying, but now we need a left back and strikers. That is true. Priority straight. We can't be in the same situation as last season. We sign everyone, but we still don't have a left back. It makes no sense. Umo Jale from Town saying Percy will destroy Kaizer Chiefs Mpilo. In a context of earning a lot than other players, the gap is too much, and we might see other young players performing than him. That is true. Umfundo Vilakazi, the way he has started this season, I can only imagine what is going to become next season. Ngobzitha saying, Pilo, if they sign him and keep his salary under 500,000, that's not going to happen. Those would be like the perfect and ideal conditions to have a salary cap for Kaizer Chiefs players. But I don't think that could happen at any point. Usimpiwe Shabalala is saying it does not make sense. Tau has won everything. He won't be motivated. And plus, he is past his prime. We need to start afresh with new players that still want to make a name for themselves. That is also true. Auslendo Utle saying, Shompilo, what do you think about Luther Singh? Luther Singh, I'm not going to lie. I have not watched Luther Singh play. So I can't really say this is my thoughts on Luther Singh, because I've not watched him play. But as far as I know, he's still abroad, right? He's still abroad, and so I don't really have an opinion on him. Who played is saying former Sundowns player are injury prone. Pumelelo is saying Tau on his own will be turned to another scapegoat like Billiard. That is true. You can't buy one high quality player and expect him to rescue the team. Knowing Chiefs, they will not buy other quality players. Vele, that is the problem with these marquee signings. I think it goes back to the thing, Yoguti. Chiefs have an identity crisis. Sort the thing out and discover, or like decide what kind of players you want. Then buy those players who are going to fit the style of play and not necessarily that thing. I'm looking at the poll right now. 45 people have voted, and most of them are saying sign Tau. And then the 24% is saying sign and renew. Wow, that's interesting. And then next up is El Sahoa is saying Percy is like Ronaldo. He matures with age. I think he's a good addition because of his experience from Brighton and Alali. He will help the young stars. And obviously, Yabona Inda with all these arguments that you guys are making, they all make sense. That's why even when I started, I pointed out that there are positives in signing him, but there are also negatives in signing him, because some people are pointing out that he has won everything, and winning everything might result in him wanting to win more. But on the other side, he has won everything. He might just be coming back to not win anything now, because, he just wants money now and to be closer to home. It's interesting. I like the conversation. Moses saying Chiefs needs both Tau and Dolly with the very best coach. Then we go. The problem, Khosi Muguti, Udoli got injured, came back from injury, and then got injured again. Manje, if you have both of them, we're talking about 3 million just going to 2 players. That means in a year, you have at the very least, like, what's the number? 3 times 12. 36 million gone. 36 million just to 2 players. And Lord, 36 million, if you don't sign either of them, could even be used to sign the player that you guys like so much, Ukain Samayo. So it could have happened. And then Uputsitle is saying they both don't have legs anymore. Blade is saying let them both go. We're tired of useless higher salary players. So Kulma Iqraam Rayners in a moment. Sponsored is saying renew Dolly for 1 year extension with at least 50% pay cut. We can't afford the new coach having players earning much difference in salaries. No Percy Tau, for he will want to milk us. Yakuza. Sbusiso is saying renewed Dolly. Mojalifa is saying, Pilo, you're supposed to add none of the above on your polls. So when success. Oh, another thing on Thursday. Another thing with the polls, I think they only allow me to oh yeah, I see where you're coming from. None of the above was needed in this poll. Umojalefa is saying below, oh, none of the above on your polls. Let's give young children a chance. We can't allow this player to retire Chiefs every time they come from overseas. Ngampela, we're becoming a retirement village. The village of retirement. Rather Sanluda saying Ushuslindo Gutle. Katleho is saying you renew Dolly because we haven't seen him playing with the likes of Mfundo Vilagazi. Percy will demand almost 2 million. That's a guarantee, Vele. Because he's already earning something around that region at Alali. Now, I see Amayama comments, but Mfuna Uguti bring up this other topic. Iqraam Rayners, ne? According to Transfer Market, his value right now is 25 million. And that's just a value that has been rising up constantly. And given the amount of goals that he has scored this season, his value is even higher. So that's another question now that I want to start asking you guys. Do you actually think Chiefs or the new coach, if he comes to Chiefs and he looks around, will he look and think to himself, hey, you know what? Let's get Iqraam Rayners. Does Iqraam Rayners or will Iqraam Rayners fit anything that has to do with the Kaizer Chiefs right now? Because if you look at Iqraam Rayners, I am of the opinion he is a better finisher than Utupri. Like, his goals are clearly showing that. But if it comes to Chiefs, the way things are standing right now, Stellenbosch are going to be playing in the CAF Champions League, right? Remember that. That's the first thing. They are playing in the CAF Champions League, which means playing in the CAF Champions League as well, you get more exposure to other teams that might want you. Rayners is 28. He's turning 29 in December, which does not look good for him in terms of going abroad. So now the question is, does Iqraam Rayners see Kaizer Chiefs as a good destination? Given Uguti, one, with Stellenbosch, it's a very stable team where it's not going to look average at any point in time. That's number one. Number two, at Stellenbosch, they are playing CAF Champions League. So that means if he has aspirations to go abroad, teams watch CAF Champions League, which means there is better exposure if he stays at Stellenbosch. Or does he think, you know what, I'm 29, because this season, by December, he will be 29. I go to Kaizer Chiefs. And also, will he be a good investment for Chiefs? Given Uguti, we've Dupri, we've Ranga as ama strikers. So do Kaizer Chiefs go and spend 25 million for Rayners? Given Uguti, I'm gonna start another poll. Given Uguti, this one will have none of the above. Given Uguti costs 25 million. What just happened? What just happened? Something just disconnected. Okay, let me start the poll. Should Chiefs break the bank for Rayners? Okay. I'm gonna put none of the above for vibes. None. Part 2, yes, no. This is easy enough. Yes and no. Yes. And then there is no. Come on, no. No. Let me remove this one. Okay. That is the poll. Should Kaizer Chiefs spend 25 million for Rayners? Because that's the market price. I'm not even talking about negotiations now. We still need a left back. You need to keep that in mind. But people know Guti Kaizer Chiefs have money. So I'm not going to say Chiefs does not have money, because I think they do have money. So let me read Lama comments because if I skip your comments from the earlier thing, I'm sorry. There are a lot of comments. I can't read all of them. but I will try to read these comments as it comes. But it's a comment after the new one, age doesn't matter in football. Remember, Mpilo, we had before Sean Bartlett, Jostal Dada, Mashamait, and Morgan Gold. Those were all players, but brought something to the team, the Chiefs culture. But how long ago was that? That's another thing, Guti. How long ago was that? While we're waiting for people to comment on this, how long ago were Morgan Gold and all of those guys playing for the Chiefs? How fast was the pace of the game compared to now? You know, because Ibola manje, it's much faster. It needs players to always be like super fit. I see Bernard Parker right now working hard at his age. He has to work. He works harder than all the Chiefs players, maybe even combined at this rate. He just came back from an injury, broke his leg. They broke his leg. Uzungu. But he is working hard to get back to his best because he knows Uguti. In modern football right now, if you are not strong enough, if you are not fit, and that is why, by the way, Parker and the likes of Abomart survive and get chosen by every coach because they are willing to work and put in the extra effort all the time. So I think age does matter to a point. I'm not saying it's the only thing that matters, but it does affect things. And then Ustembis was saying sign Tau and renew Dolly for only 1 year with the condition that they decrease to 40% of Dolly's salary. Chiefs have already wasted a lot of money on him without productivity. And then who played, referring to what we're talking about now, saying we can't just break the bank for one person. It makes no difference. Yo, Blade, you're a wise man. I thought you were a bodybuilder. By the way, Blade, on Thursday, I think you book straight in your eyes. On Thursday, I want us to talk about our fitness coach because who played Agafuni Escora set. Because I've been ignoring the topic, but it's been coming up. It's one of the topics we'll discuss on Thursday. Usitle is saying that won't help Mpilo. Chiefs needs a conditioning coach and an assistant coach. Far Shepherd, ever since he came with Chiefs, it's winter dry days. He refused to pay for the club as a player. Sign Mayo. Mayo now has dipped in form, guys. Why are we going to Mayo again? Because Mayo is even more expensive than Rayners, but he has scored much fewer goals than Rayners. How Oz is saying, can Kaizer Chiefs stop signing players over the age of 30 who are expensive? Let's rather focus on our young attacking players like Donna Jansen and Fundo and add a proper left back and attacking midfielder. And by the way, there's that thing, there's a developing story which I will make in a video that I'm posting tomorrow about the left back situation. I'm just going to leave it hanging there. I was possibly saying, but guys, can we push for a coach first? Then he can assess the squad we don't want to analyze for him. Look at your plumber, Coach Johnson, playing a top goal scorer, Jansen in MTC as a right back. You know what happened when I saw Jansen warming up? I was like, here comes this boy. He's going to play in Silas' position. We're attacking now. Let's go. What? Right back? No, Nyago's was posted. But here's the thing. We're not going to sit here and say, let's wait for the coach to decide. Nah, we're not going to do that because we cannot talk about it. Vele we know Uguti we want to wait for the coach to make his decision. But we're allowed to dream. We're allowed to dream. Now Mukatleho bringing up something very interesting. He's saying Cupido from Spurs would be much better and cheap. Take the money and bid for Aziz. Aziz is also not coming to Chiefs. But let's leave Aziz out of this. Yabolega Cupido. Actually, Cupido was linked with Chiefs last year. And then something just happened because, well, things happened. And then he continued playing for Spurs, I think for game time and whatnot. But now they are going back to Imutsepe Foundation. I think now that opens the door for Chiefs if they want a striker, another striker, because Gonzalez is leaving, Cupido is young, he's going to be much cheaper. And I mean, I think he's ready for PSL at this point. He has played in PSL. Who played is saying Parker was the hardest worker even at Chiefs. Exactly, that's why he was always played. And that's what people never understood. 37 likes, guys, and 466 views and 127 people currently watching. That is not fair. That is not fair. Let's like. We're ending the stream soon, so let's get those likes at least 200. Let's get those likes up, guys. Umojalefa is saying, Pilo, we are still not addressing the issue we have. Duba, Chiva, Viro, and Dupreez. You are right. I still not yet proven. We can't get the best striker in the world, but without midfield, buying that guy will be. I don't see where you continued. Yeah, that is true, hey. Sesikhohlwe nanokuthi khona uDuba because of this plumber. By the way, I've not told people to become members of late, but you can become a member. Just click on the link that's on the description. It's only 20 rands per month, and it helps me a lot in just doing these things, to go to stadiums, record, and talk to people, you know, things like that. So if you want to help the channel, you know, with those things, please do become a member. Anyways, next up, Umpumelelo is saying, if they hire the modern day Baxter Ramovich counter-attack specialist, then Rayners makes sense. But if we get a ball-playing coach, we don't need Rayners, although I like his finishing. I said to someone, you know that Rayners is just a 10% better Dupree. He finishes better than him, but to me, he also looks like a Dupree. And I said that Senkotli Wutiwa was saying this too. But at times, when I look at Rayners, I'm like, this is just an upgraded Dupree. Why not upgrade it Dupree? Because you already have him. He has pace, he just doesn't have finishing. But Rayners now has both of those things. But also, Rayners looks like a proper striker. But then again, as I said, upgraded Dupree. Umsayonkos is saying, no, we don't need Rayners. Chiefs must indeed inquire about Luther Singh. Usreni, the manager, saying, Prampilo, at Chiefs we have good young players who need serious coach who believe in youngsters like Ramovich. That is interesting. Ega Ramovich achendi yakubega. Uzodlala manje ngopast 7 neSundowns. Please check out how ETS Galaxy plays. They are playing now at 7 with Sundowns. But they got spanked in the last game, obviously. Umodi Red is saying the most common way that Chiefs is linked to. Of course it is. Aumanda is saying, I'm not too sure about Cupido, to be honest. You know, Cupido, I think he's, at this point, I would equate him to Ranga, because he's a striker who needs supply, but he's strong. He's a box striker, and he can do things if he's in the right position. It's just that, obviously, right now, having played for the team that I was playing for, it would seem like a risk, but that's why we're saying he is a better risk than signing Abo Tau for Abo or free agent, fine, but you're gonna pay him, and there's gonna be a signing bonus. There's gonna be 2 million that goes to him each month. And if you buy Cupido, you're probably gonna pay 5 million. You're gonna pay him, let's say, maybe 100,000. So it's a manageable risk. It's a smaller risk compared to the other one. Moses is saying, Pilo, have you watched AFCON? There is a player called Mabululu. What a player. I remember Mabululu. Mabululu akukonje. Why? Sankohli Angola. Sankohli Mabululu akubi. Ukatleo is saying, lol, there's a left back at Spurs, totally, or something like, whom it would be easier to get his services to. Let's rate Spurs. Chiefs, funny enough, they did want to rush in totally last year. We talked about him a lot. Let's get more likes. We did talk about Totally, but then Chiefs did not sign him, so I don't know what's going to happen there. Khosi is here, is saying, I can't wait to see you in Cape Town, but Spurs is doing a heist. Ticket costs 100 rand, but they're already relegated. Young Zogbona Sunday, we'll be making some content no call for on Sunday. On Saturday, Sunday. Sunday. Funny enough, I bought a ticket to fly to Cape Town. The return flight time is 275. Isn't that interesting? It was just a call. Like, it's fine. 275 friends to fly to Cape Town and come back. Like, anyways, and then I'm gonna pay more on Uber than on the flights. It's funny. Man, is saying I've never been a fan of Rayners, but a consistent 2 years makes one wonder. Also, Luther Singh is not a striker. He's more a winger. That is why I said I can't comment on Luther Singh, because I've never watched him play. Right now, people are 50-50 on Rayners and breaking the bank for him. Ukhumbule vele man ukuthi even while we're talking about Rayners, even Dupree, was consistent for Stellies for like 2 seasons-ish, and then Chiefs ended up going for him. And then Manda is saying, I've seen Cupido missed easy tap-ins, which has been my problem. Striker sketcher Vele raises flags. Once again, it's that thing of, would you rather have Gonzalez or would you rather have Cupido? But at the same time, we don't want to use the logic of, he's better than Gonzalez, therefore we should sign him. So I do get your argument. I do get where you're coming from. And then Manda continues, Uplade is saying, we don't need expensive players. It's not working for us. They become a waste fast. Manda is saying we should not sign a striker that needs to be given time and develop. We just need someone who eats the net. And that person right now is Umabasa, is Uripero, is Rayners. And the only one we can get there is Rayners, or go outside of the country, who will still have to adapt to the country, which brings us back to Rayners. Utebu is saying, I'm really worried about our scouts. We've seen guys like Musasa, Musona, Besuma, etc. But now we're really struggling, honestly. We can't compete for players who are doing better, not doing extremely great. Nyaguzwa, Umanda is saying totally makes more sense as a signing for left back. Mara, we need to get Valabai from Spurs. That boy shows quality. That is so great and Spurs. Tulubek. And then Umpumelelo, the last comment is saying, I like Sid as a person, but as a Kaizer Chiefs coach, no. People will find out if he's appointed. As an assistant coach, yes, but not as a head coach. He coaches players with little ego. We need a big personality. That's why I feel like the man has big personality, you know. But I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it there and say, if you're watching after the live, comment on Manishuguti. Do you think it makes sense to sign Percy Tau? Do you think Chiefs should go for Rayners? Who else do you think Chiefs should go for? Let us know down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, remember, equals at Pelumoy. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun.